What's going on, everybody? Ronin1011 here, and I'm back for Zephix Education. And this time around, we're doing part 2 of how to become a freelance artist. If you haven't seen the first part, please check out the link in the description or an annotation if there is one up there. But we'll get you there. Go check it out. The first part was basically how to get started into freelancing, and this part here is going to be about what do you do once you start freelancing. How do you get paid and stuff like that, okay? So let's jump right into it. I'm going to try and keep this one short. So the first question I get asked is, okay, I'm getting, I got a job. What do I do? How do I bill? Okay, because you're going to have to bill your clients for your time. So what you do is, as far as billing is concerned, you need to know how long it takes you to do stuff. Okay? What I mean by that is, for simplicity's sake, let's say you do YouTube backgrounds. Okay, and you found some people that want to pay you to do their YouTube background. Say it's a partner background, something like that, okay? So when it comes to billing, you want to know how long it's going to take you to do it. So let's say you know that it takes you 2 hours to do a YouTube background. That's how long you're going to bill for. Well, you give them an estimate. Initially, that people usually want an estimate. Well, how much do you think it's going to cost? Okay, well, I do a YouTube background and it's taking about 2.5 hours. You're going to tell them 3 hours. Always give yourself extra time to do it. Never give them the exact amount of time it's going to take you, because you never know what's going to happen. Your computer may crash, your internet may go out, your playlist may fail, and you have to make a new playlist while you're doing your graphics. So you never know. Okay, for your music, you never know what's going to happen. So basically, get a good idea of how long it takes you to do stuff. Okay, that way when they ask you how much it's going to cost them, you can give them a really good roundabout number. So like I said, if it takes you 2.5 hours to do something, say about 3 hours. Okay, so that's as far as I'm going to go into billing. We can get into more of that, if you guys want, let me know. But now, okay, so now you know how to build them, but you don't know what to build them, how much to build them. Okay, so that I'm going to call that payment. Okay, how much are you going to get paid to do it? So let's use that example of YouTube background. Okay, you're making a YouTube partner background. It's going to take you 2.5 hours. How much do you pay for that? How much are they going to pay for that? Well, when I started out, and when you guys start out, you're going to be small. You're basically going to be working practically for free. Okay, if you're finding you're not really getting enough clientele, then you got to kind of sell yourself. You got to kind of sell your soul in a way to get this work sometimes. So when I started out, I used to do graphics in high school for about $10-15 an hour. You do it per hour. That's the easiest way to do it. Do it per hour, because doing graphics and stuff doesn't take you 10 minutes. It takes you at least an hour to do anything really decent. So you start out small, and you start out with something like $10 to $15 an hour. That's what you tell people. When I started professionally freelancing, I started doing about 15 to 20, 25, I think. Like, say it was 15 to 25 bucks an hour, depending on what I was doing. If I was doing animation, I made it more like 25. If I was doing production work, being cameraman or a grip or anything like that, I would make it. I was about 20 bucks an hour. By the end of my freelancing at the time, I was up to about 30, 35 bucks, doing everything, doing graphics and stuff like that. I was doing about 30, 35 bucks an hour. In fact, one time I think I charged 60 bucks an hour, but that's because the guy I was working with, he told me to tell the client 60 bucks an hour, and I was like, yeah, cool, awesome, But so if you have someone in your corner telling you what to do, then do what they say. A guy that's older than you and knows and has been doing it longer. But anyway, so that's basically what you want to do. You want to start small, okay? And as your experience and as your expertise and as your knowledge of being in the field grows and grows, based on how long it's going to take you to do something, and you're going to start taking bigger jobs because you can. That's another tip. Don't take something so big that you can't get it done. Know your limits. Know your limits. Okay, that goes along with the billing. But always say you can do it anyway. So, like I said, that's payment. That's what you want to do with getting paid. Okay, you want to tell them the amount of money it's going to cost you per hour. All right. So now that you figured out your billing and your payment for the work you're going to do, how do you get paid? How do you get the money from these people, from your clients? Well, that's going to be in the form of an invoice, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to create your own little letterhead, your own little document with your logo and whatnot, and you're going to, say you're going to, usually you do an itemized type of thing. You could do very simple, like, 2 hours of work for YouTube partner background. and that's that. Okay, that's what you put down. A lot of clients want an itemized because they have to be accountable for it at the end of the year, and they need to have reasons why they spent certain money. So in your invoice, you're going to say that basically you describe the work you did and how long it took you to do it and how much it was per hour. That's basically what I used to do. But the one thing I want to talk about with that is I used to actually have started a DBA, which is a doing business as. It's the lowest form of having a business in your own name that you can. It cost me like $35. I started a DBA, and I didn't use tax ID number. I used my social security number as my quote unquote tax ID number. So that's what I put on my form, and that's like telling the government this person was making this much money with this type from this work. I was making that income from this work. That's basically what that says. You could get a tax ID number. I never attempted to get a tax ID number. I didn't need one. I just figured I'd use because it was a personal business, and I wasn't trying to do anything crazy. So you can get a tax ID number, but you'll most likely start out with just your social security number. Okay, so that's invoices. Now the next thing I want to talk about is taxes. Taxes are a big deal. I know some of the younger guys are like, I don't really pay taxes yet, this and that. Guess what? You're going to have to. And you're not going to get paid on the books for this stuff. You're going to get paid at the end of the year, you're going to get paid with what's called a 1099. And that's basically any freelance work in broad terms. Anything that you're not on the books, quote unquote, for, that's what you're going to get paid. My screen just went off. There we go. That's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to get at the end of the year from the client. Okay, 1099. Now, the U.S. government will not tax you on anything under $600. Okay, so if you only did like $550 worth of work, you don't have to claim it. Okay, meaning you don't have to pay taxes on it. Okay, but beware, if you do make more and they audit you, you can get in trouble for it. Okay, so anything under $600, you don't really have to claim. Anything over $600, you're gonna have to claim. What do you do? Well, you do one of two things. You go to your accountant and you say, I'm freelancing. I have to start paying the government income tax. What do I do? Okay, they can set you up with a payment based on how much you made for the year. They'll estimate how much you're going to make for the next year, stuff like that, and you can set up a payment plan. So every quarter you'll pay a certain amount of money, and if you pay too much, government will give it back. If not, you may if they owe more, they'll let you know. Trust me. But that's essentially what you do with the taxes. Okay, you want to make sure that you're going to be able to pay the taxes on the income so you don't get in trouble later on. Personally, that hasn't happened to me. I've always either broken even or I was given back because I gave too much, which is pretty cool. So that's basically it, guys. Okay, whoops, hit my mic. So again, to recap what we talked about, how do you billing? I'll call it billing. And like I said, you want to know how long it's going to take you to do the work, and that's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to tell them. It's going to take me this amount of time to do this, and that leads right into payment. How much are they going to pay you to do the work? Well, based on how much time it's going to cost you, you're going to set up a per hour rate, and that's what you're going to say. So it'll take me 3 hours to do your background, and I'm going to charge you $20 an hour. Boom, there you go. Okay, and that's what they're going to pay you. And with the payment, don't forget, you're going to want to use an invoice for that. Okay, and on the invoice, you're going to probably use your social security number. You're not going to use a tax ID number unless you get that tax ID number. But like I said, I always use my social security number, and you invoice them, and they pay you, and it takes a long time, and it sucks, but you will get paid eventually. And the last thing we talked about was taxes. You're going to get paid with the 1099, and what you do is you take that to the accountant, and he'll tell you he'll estimate how much you get, that you're going to owe and stuff like that, and then you can also set up a payment plan for that. Any questions, let me know. I know this was kind of quick, but I really just wanted to get that out there. We can talk more if you want me to. Let me know, leave me comments, ask me questions about it. I got some good responses on the other video, so that way, I got a lot of questions from that, so you guys can ask me questions on this one. So there it is. Please subscribe to Zephix, subscribe to me, Ronin1011, and love everything. Later.